Mohan Bhagwat is the current leader of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS. He has been at the helm of this influential organization for over a decade, steering its direction and policies. The RSS is a prominent Hindu nationalist organization in India, known for its disciplined cadre and extensive grassroots network. It plays a significant role in shaping the socio-political landscape of the country. Founded in 1925 by Dr. Keshav Baliram Hejwar, the RSS advocates for a Hindu-centric vision of India. Its early activities focused on character building and instilling a sense of national pride among Hindus. Mohan Bhagwat became the Sasanchalak, the highest rank in the RSS, in 2009. His tenure has seen the organization grow in both size and influence, with a significant impact on Indian politics and society. He is known for his strong views on Hindutva, cultural nationalism, and the role of Hindus in Indian society. Bhagwat often emphasizes the importance of preserving India's cultural heritage and traditions. His leadership has been marked by both admiration from his supporters and criticism from his detractors. While his followers praise his dedication and vision, his opponents accuse him of promoting a divisive agenda. Bhagwat's statements and actions often spark debate and controversy in India. His speeches frequently make headlines, stirring discussions on various national issues. His views on issues like citizenship, religious conversion, and the role of minorities have drawn strong reactions from different sections of society. These topics remain contentious and polarizing in the Indian context. His supporters see him as a strong leader who is not afraid to speak his mind. They believe he is committed to protecting the interests of Hindus and preserving Indian culture against perceived threats. They believe he is committed to protecting the interests of Hindus and preserving Indian culture. His emphasis on traditional values resonates with many who feel that modernity is eroding India's cultural fabric. His critics view him as a divisive figure whose ideology is at odds with India's secular and pluralistic values. They argue that his vision undermines the country's rich diversity and promotes exclusion. The RSS, under Bhagwat's leadership, has expanded its reach and influence in India. The organization has grown its membership and increased its presence in various sectors of society. The organization has been actively involved in social work, education, and cultural activities. It runs numerous programs aimed at community development and nation building. It runs schools, colleges, and NGOs across the country. These institutions aim to inculcate a sense of discipline, patriotism, and cultural pride among the youth. However, the RSS also faces accusations of promoting intolerance and violence against minorities. Critics argue that its ideology fosters an environment of exclusion and hostility. The organization has been linked to several incidents of violence against Muslims and Christians. These allegations have led to widespread condemnation and calls for greater accountability. The Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS, is a Hindu nationalist organization founded in 1925 by Keshav Baliram Hejwar. Hejwar, a physician by profession, was deeply influenced by the prevailing socio-political conditions of his time and sought to create an organization that would unify Hindus and promote their cultural values. The organization emerged in the wake of India's struggle for independence from British rule. During this period, many Indians were seeking ways to assert their identity and resist colonial oppression. The RSS aimed to instill a sense of pride and unity among Hindus, which they believed was essential for the nation's freedom and future. The RSS was deeply influenced by the ideology of Hindutva, which emphasizes Hindu identity and culture as central to the Indian nation. Hindutva, as articulated by thinkers like Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, sought to define Indian culture in terms of Hindu values and traditions. The RSS believes that India is a Hindu nation and that Hindus have a special claim over India. This belief is rooted in the idea that Hindu civilization has been the bedrock of Indian culture and society for millennia. The RSS's ideology is based on the belief that Hindus are the rightful inheritors of India. They argue that the cultural and historical contributions of Hindus should be recognized and preserved. The organization advocates for the cultural and social unity of Hindus. Through its various programs and activities, the RSS aims to foster a sense of solidarity and mutual support among Hindus. They believe that India's diversity should be subsumed under a unified Hindu identity. This perspective has led to debates and controversies, especially in a country as diverse as India, with its multitude of languages, religions, and cultures. The RSS has been critical of what it sees as appeasement of minorities in India. They argue that policies favoring minorities often come at the expense of the Hindu majority. They oppose conversions from Hinduism to other religions. The RSS believes that such conversions disrupt social harmony and weaken the Hindu community. The RSS has been a controversial organization since its inception. Its activities and ideology have often sparked intense debates and conflicts within Indian society. It was banned several times in independent India, including after the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi by a former RSS member. This event led to widespread condemnation and scrutiny of the organization's activities and beliefs. The RSS has always maintained that it is a cultural organization and not a political party. They emphasize their role in social service, education, and cultural preservation. However, its critics argue that the RSS has a clear political agenda. They point to the organization's influence on political parties and its involvement in various political movements. The RSS has close ties to the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP, India's current ruling party. Many of the BJP's leaders have been associated with the RSS, and the two organizations share a common ideological foundation. Mohan Bhagwat assumed the leadership of the RSS in 2009, becoming the sixth Sarsang Chalak in the organization's history. Bhagwat, a veterinarian by training, is known for his deep understanding of the RSS's ideology and his commitment to its principles. He is seen as a pragmatic leader who is willing to adapt the RSS's strategies to the changing times. One of Bhagwat's key priorities has been to expand the RSS's reach among the youth. He has emphasized the importance of social work and community service as a way to attract young people to the RSS. Bhagwat has also tried to project a more moderate image of the RSS, distancing the organization from its controversial past. He's spoken out against violence and intolerance, calling for dialogue and understanding between different communities. Bhagwat's leadership has been marked by a focus on Hindu unity and cultural pride. He has repeatedly emphasized the need for Hindus to unite and assert their identity. Bhagwat has also spoken about the importance of preserving Indian culture and traditions in the face of globalization. His vision for India is one where Hindu values and traditions are at the forefront of national life. Section 4. Public reactions and controversies. Mohan Bhagwat's statements and actions often generate strong reactions from the Indian public. His views on issues like citizenship, religious conversion, and the role of minorities have been particularly controversial. Bhagwat's supporters see him as a bold leader who is not afraid to speak his mind. They believe he is committed to protecting the interests of Hindus and preserving Indian culture. Bhagwat's critics view him as a divisive figure whose ideology is at odds with India's secular and pluralistic values. They accuse him of promoting a majoritarian agenda that marginalizes minorities. Bhagwat's statements on issues like the Citizenship Amendment Act and the abrogation of Article 370 in Kashmir have been met with protests and criticism from opposition parties and civil society groups. The RSS, under Bhagwat's leadership, has been accused of promoting intolerance and violence against minorities. The organization has been linked to several incidents of violence against Muslims and Christians. The RSS has always denied these allegations, claiming that it is a peaceful and law-abiding organization. However, the perception of the RSS as a Hindu supremacist organization persists among many Indians. To Section 5, the RSS in Contemporary India, Influence and Impact. The Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, commonly known as the RSS, has been a significant player in shaping modern India. Founded in 1925, the organization has grown exponentially over the decades, becoming a formidable force in various spheres of Indian society. The RSS, under Mohan Bhagwat's leadership, has emerged as a powerful force in contemporary India. Bhagwat, who became the Sarsang Chalak, or chief, in 2009, has been instrumental in expanding the organization's reach and influence. His leadership has seen the RSS grow not just in numbers, but also in its impact on national policies and public opinion. The organization's influence extends beyond the realm of religion and culture, permeating politics, education, and social life. The RSS has a vast network of affiliated organizations, collectively known as the Sangh Parivar, which work in various sectors including education, health, and rural development. This extensive network allows the RSS to influence a wide array of social and cultural activities across the country. The RSS's close ties to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party have given it unprecedented access to the corridors of power. Many of the BJP's top leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, have roots in the RSS. This close relationship has led to a significant overlap in the ideologies and policies of the two organizations. The RSS's ideology is seen by many as shaping the BJP's policies and worldview. The organization's emphasis on Hindu nationalism and cultural pride is reflected in the BJP's political agenda. This has led to a growing influence of the RSS in the formulation of government policies and decisions. The RSS has been actively involved in promoting its ideology through a vast network of schools, colleges, and NGOs. These institutions not only provide education but also inculcate a sense of pride in India's cultural heritage and traditions. The curriculum often includes teachings that align with the RSS's vision of a Hindu-centric society. The organization runs thousands of schools across India where students are taught a curriculum that emphasizes Hindu values and traditions. These schools, known as Saraswati Shishu Mandirs, aim to create a new generation of Indians who are deeply rooted in their cultural and religious heritage. The RSS also runs several think tanks and research institutes that promote its worldview. These institutions conduct research on various aspects of Indian society and culture, providing intellectual support to the RSS's activities and initiatives. They play a crucial role in shaping public discourse and influencing policy decisions. The organization has been successful in creating a parallel ecosystem of institutions that propagate its ideology. This ecosystem includes not just educational institutions, but also media outlets, publishing houses, and social service organizations. Together they work to spread the RSS's message and influence public opinion. The RSS's growing influence has raised concerns about the future of secularism and pluralism in India. Critics argue that the organization's emphasis on Hindu nationalism undermines the country's secular fabric and marginalizes religious and cultural minorities. Critics argue that the RSS's ideology is fundamentally at odds with the idea of a diverse and inclusive India. They fear that the organization's vision of a Hindu Rashtra or Hindu nation could lead to the exclusion and discrimination of non-Hindu communities. They fear that the RSS's ultimate goal is to transform India into a Hindu Rashtra, where minorities are relegated to second-class status. This has led to widespread protests and opposition from various sections of society who believe in a pluralistic and inclusive India. The RSS's supporters, on the other hand, argue that the organization is committed to the well-being of all Indians, regardless of their religion or caste. They point to the RSS's extensive social service activities, including disaster relief, healthcare, and education, as evidence of its commitment to the welfare of all citizens. They believe that the RSS's ideology is essential for preserving India's cultural identity and national unity. Supporters argue that the organization's emphasis on cultural pride and national unity is crucial for maintaining social cohesion and harmony in a diverse and complex society like India.